was quick. Morning everyone, I'm Irma Ranieri, Commissioner for Public Sector Employment. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 Premier's Excellence Awards. And we've done it again. We managed to get everyone together again, which is wonderful. After the year that's been, I can't think of a more worthy reason to bring together all the agencies that make up the South Australian public sector. A warm welcome to watching online and also to our guests joining us here at the Adelaide Town Hall. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the Premier for being here for each and every one of these awards, and to all the Chief Executives who have taken the time to support today's event. I'd like to acknowledge that we stand on the land of the Kaurna people, who are the traditional owners of the Adelaide Plains. The Kaurna people are an enduring community with ongoing connections to country, including this space. I'd now like to invite a proud Kaurna woman, Taylor Tipu Power, to the stage to do the official welcome to country. Please join me in welcoming Taylor.
Nankana mea na kawanualia napala alia yungan dalia yakana talia kuma. Nainari Taylor Tipu Power yalaka na pani ngai cho taika tina pera kawangandi. Ngara lo gana yartanga imberendi ngara lo gana mea na tampandi martuichanga ngai chai kamami ngai chai kuma. Na mani. I always love when I get that response, and I'm finding the more I do these things, we get a much bigger response to that, which is great. So for those of you who don't know, Ngā Mani means, are you all good? And if you're good, you say Mani ai. So Ngā Mani? Beautiful. Today we are meeting on sacred Kaurna land, and we pay our respects to all the Kaurna that were and all the Kaurna that are. We pay our respects to all of our elders that have paved the way for generations, and to all of you gathered here today. My name is Taylor Tipu Power. Tipu in Kaurna means the spark, and I was given that name after my mother, Katrina Galabina Power, and Galabina means the lover of fire. Does anyone in the room know my mum? So it makes sense, doesn't it? My mum is a very fiery and passionate woman, that fire that we've carried in our bellies for generations and generations. I'd like to congratulate all the nominees today and say that regardless of outcome, I think that the fact that you've been nominated speaks volumes of the effort and the work that you put into doing what you do, and that alone is worth celebrating. I'd also like to share a quote that my mum actually recently taught me that says, "No man is an island," and it basically means that nobody is truly self-sufficient. And I like to acknowledge that because I think it's important to acknowledge that we've all needed somebody or something to get us where we are today, regardless of what or who that may be. So I'd like to also thank everybody else who's made today possible, who makes every day possible, from the waitresses, the cleaners, the CEOs, everybody that plays a part in bringing us all together. As a way to honour my language, I actually like to sing a little song in Kaurna, and I use the word like very loosely, because I'm not a singer, so I apologise in advance for your ears. But we've got some really high ceilings, so I'm hoping we'll get some good acoustics in here today. And the great news is that you're actually going to sing it back to me, which is my favourite part. It's a really simple song. Has anybody heard the Nina Mani song before? Cool, so you can join in right now if you like. But it's really simple, you can just repeat it after me, okay? It goes like this. Nina Mani, Mani ai, Wanti Nina, Wadliana. This is a great first go. We're going to do it one more time, but louder, all right? We want it to hit the ceiling. Nina Mani, Mani ai, Wanti Nina, Wadliana. Before I go, I'd also like to share a story that I think is quite fitting given the nature of today's event, and it's the starfish story. Has anybody heard of it before? Cool. It's really simple. I'll cut it down really quick because I'm probably running out of time. But anyway, it's basically there's a little girl walking along the beach and there's a mob hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stranded starfish, and one by one she goes along and she puts them back into the water. And as she's going along her way, she encounters a man who asks her what she's doing. And she tells the man that she's putting him back in to save him. And the man turns around and says to her, well, what are you doing that for? You know, it's never going to make a difference. There's hundreds of stranded starfish here. And the little girl, she turned around and she picked another one up and she put it back into the ocean. She smiled at him and she said, well, it made a difference to that one. And that's a story that I hold very close to my heart, because it's something that resonates with me really deeply. And my message for you today is to don't ever underestimate your power and ability to make a difference in this world, which is something that you're obviously already doing because you're here. So, Ngai Chalia, thank you for that. Mani na budni gana yartana padni pandimia puki mukabandu. Say that it's good you've all come here to Ghana country, but as you travel these plains, remember the people that walked here before you. The spirit still lives amongst the steel, the concrete, the roads and the lawns. Ngai Chalia. Before I go, actually, one more thing. My mum, Premier, asked me to ask you very specifically if you've got Ghana country on your licence yet. It's coming. She will hold you to that. Ngai Chalia, in Ghana we don't say goodbye, we say see you later by saying nakada, so nakada.
What a beautiful welcome to country and a reminder about us working together as a community. What a great way to start. Thank you so much, Taylor. I also want to acknowledge the Premier for being here and his support over the last 3 or so years with these awards. We really appreciate you joining us this morning, Premier, to acknowledge the outstanding work of the South Australian public sector. Before I do invite the Premier at the stage, just a few housekeeping items. This is a COVID-safe ceremony, which we're all doing the right thing here, so if you're attending in person, we ask that you keep your masks on while seated, unless you're obviously eating or drinking. In acknowledgement of the current environment, this year we are only inviting the winners to the stage. However, can I ask that all finalists collect their certificates from members of my office at table 11 following the official proceedings? Can table 11 just wave their hands? Where are you, team? Over there. There she is. You can then get a photo with Roy, who actually has taken my photo. So Roy's really good at taking some great photos. Just remembering to pose in a COVID-safe manner. Of course, take the masks off when we are having the photos. We hope that we can do it in time so the Premier can stay for those photos as well. During the time that we've have got allocated. As for the winners, you get to come up on the stage. So when your name is called, please make your way to the stage on that side to collect your award. If you're a winner in the group category, your chosen representatives are invited to the stage to accept the award on your entire team's behalf. Winners can remove their masks on their way to the stage to receive their award and to have photos taken, and then put them back on when you're at the table. And I'd like you to place your phones on silent or turn them off. And if there's an emergency, we need to evacuate, please follow the staff as they lead you outside. I would appreciate it if you didn't leave during the ceremony, but if you do need to, please try and exit after each winner is announced or in between the announcements. So today we have the opportunity to start or kick off the proceedings to hear from the Premier of the South Australian public sector's role during the past 12 months was really responding to the pandemic mostly. The Premier has been a supporter of these awards from the time he started, and we've really enjoyed having him each time. So please, Premier, please come to the stage so we can hear a bit about what you've been doing over the last 12 months. So without further delay, please let me introduce the Premier, Stephen Marshall. Oh, you're there.
Well, good morning, everybody. Can I thank Taylor for her excellent welcome to country, and she's quite right. I did commit to her mother that the fantastic program that operates through the Department of Transport and Infrastructure that allows you to put Ghana country on your licence is now available. Problem is I've got a lot of time still available on my licence, so I don't know whether I can get another one made or not, but I have committed to doing that, so I better do that. And I really want to thank Taylor for her welcome to country. It was excellent. Wasn't it excellent? I particularly loved hearing her speak in Ghana. This was a language which was almost completely lost. Very few people could speak it. If you go back 5 or 10 years, very, very few people could speak Ghana. And I feel very grateful to all the people who put a massive effort in to recover that language, and now to hear young people speaking it, probably better than some of the older people, is just absolutely wonderful. And I do want to just acknowledge the great work that the South Australian Museum's doing with the University of Adelaide to recover another language at the moment, the Tungunnacold language of part of the Ramangiri people of the Narrandjeri Nation. They have gone back and, if you like, looked at all of the different fantastic archival material that we have, listened to some of those audio recordings, if you like, translated it all, produced fabulous learning materials and a fabulous website. And I think that as a state we should be looking forward to recovering all of our lost languages in South Australia. So that might be something that we can commit to over this UNESCO Decade of Indigenous and Endangered Languages, so something to look forward to. I also would like to acknowledge that we meet today on the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and we acknowledge their ongoing spiritual relationship with this precious and sacred land. I'd like to acknowledge the Commissioner for Public Sector Employment, Irma Ranieri, who continues to work extraordinarily hard with her dedicated team in the Commission, and we thank her for her work, and also Nick Reid, the Chief Executive of the Department of Premier and Cabinet, and all of the Chief Executives that are here today, and all of those people who are with us today at the beautiful Adelaide Town Hall for these awards ceremonies. I know that there's not a big crowd here today. What have we got? About 100 or so. So this means that you must be people that are not just nominees but finalists. So congratulations to all of you. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Louder! You've got to make up for all of those other hardworking, dedicated and passionate public servants that couldn't be here today. But this is a special recognition of the wonderful, innovative, dedicated, passionate people that we have working in the South Australian Public Service. It has been an extraordinary 12 months. In fact, it's been an extraordinary couple of years in South Australia. We've dealt with, well, basically everything. We've dealt with bushfires, and we've dealt with droughts, and we've dealt with fruit fly, and we've dealt with COVID, and most recently we've been dealing with floods. I don't know what else is on that list. Hopefully nothing, because I think we've all been through a huge amount. One of the things that really gladdens my heart is the way that the public service in South Australia has responded to these extraordinary situations. Every now and again we have bushfires, and you see the fantastic effort that comes from the CFS, the SES, SAPOL, the agencies that help the recovery. We try to have as few of those devastating bushfires as possible. But to have bushfires and floods and fruit fly and this COVID-19 all really pretty much at the same time, I know has really tested the depth and the capacity within the public sector. It would for any public sector around the world, but I think every single person in the public service in South Australia, in fact every single South Australian, should feel extraordinarily proud of the efforts that you and the broader public service in South Australia has put in. I know I feel very proud leading the Cabinet, leading the state as the Premier, for the extraordinary response that has occurred. The way that people have gone over and above what is in their job description, the way that people have worked collaboratively, the way that people have spoken to other department chief executives and said, well, what can I be doing to help? And sometimes, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, and I think in many ways the public service has really moved forward in the last couple of years, because, you know, out of necessity. But I think out of that we've become very much stronger as a state and as a public service. So a massive congratulations to each and every one of you. I was very keen when I became the Premier of South Australia to put these awards for excellence in place, a really tangible way to recognise what's going on right across the sector. There are enormously exciting projects that are occurring each and every day, but if you don't tell anybody about them, then nobody is going to really know outside of those people that are directly affected. So I was very keen to have that put back in place. It existed many years ago. This is the third under my government. I'm really pleased. Not only, I think, gives recognition for great projects, but I think it also inspires the broader public sector. And I think it also, when somebody has a great result and they share it with another department, then other chief executives think, oh, this could be quite good. Other directors and people that work in different areas think, we could be doing something similar. So that sharing of ideas, that transfer of innovation and best practice, I think, is something that is very, very exciting. So this year we have a very large number of nominations. In fact, 68 nominations in 8 different categories. There were 29 finalists, you guys, from 18 different agencies who were chosen by the judging panel. Whilst I'm obviously very keen to hear who are the winners, I've got RSI signing all of the certificates for the agencies who are nominees, but I am really, really keen to hear who the winners are today. I do want to specifically commend the Department for Child Protection. This is one of the hardest areas of public policy that exists, and I noted that there were 5 separate nominations for finalists announced through the Department of Child Protection. So a massive congratulations to you, Kathy, and to Fiona, and to all of your team which worked so hard. These awards really celebrate the fabulous values of the South Australian Public Service: trust, service, professionalism, respect, collaboration and engagement, which I think is absolutely superb, honesty and integrity, courage and tenacity, and importantly, sustainability. I think all of the nominees this year, and all of the finalists in particular, really do demonstrate those fabulous values. I'm going to stop talking now because I think you all want to find out who the finalists are, who are the winners. I hope you very much enjoy today's presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Premier, for your address and for being here at all of these awards. And we've managed to actually have them each and every year, which is great. Firstly, I want to acknowledge the strong support and encouragement you've shown for our purpose statement during the past 12 months. Making a difference so South Australia thrives was introduced last year to encapsulate why the public sector exists and to provide a North Star or common goal for us to all work towards. Nowhere else can people do the kind of work we do. We're able to improve the lives of our fellow South Australians and shape the future of this great state. To recognise some of the work and the people who are making a difference, we've introduced a new award this year called Making a Difference, Living the South Australian Public Sector Purpose. The presentation of those awards will come later in the ceremony, and that'll be led by Nick Reid. But before that, I want to publicly thank you all for the amazing effort and dedication that you have shown over the last 12 months. Many years before that, but certainly we're celebrating what's happened over the last 12 months. The changes forced by the pandemic have been a catalyst for immense change, altering the ways we work and in some cases live too. Many of you remained on the front line to keep our institutions and services running, providing vital support to our community. Your talents, effort and commitment have shone through alongside the flexibility and resilience. And resilience stands out a lot to me in what I've seen across the public sector. I'm proud to say these qualities are really what's kept South Australia strong and its public service. Obviously, this period has given everyone a chance to reflect on those values that the Premier talked about and assess what's important. In many instances, we've found new ways of working and sometimes some unexpected benefits. I believe the next 12 to 24 months will be a challenging and exciting period for the public sector as we navigate hurdles and strive to make a brighter future for all South Australians. But we must remain open, embrace those new ideas, work smarter, be inclusive, stay true to our goals, consider things differently, and all the while staying agile. We also need to find ways to encourage the best and brightest talent in the state to join the public sector. It's an opportunity we shouldn't and can't waste. To help us plan for the future, we invited you to take part in the I Work for SA Your Voice survey to help us better understand what you want for our sector. Your responses reaffirm my long-held belief that we've had a lot to be proud of as a workforce, and we've done so well over the last 12 months, and some solid foundations to build upon. Thank you for your input to that survey. We know what's needed to make it an even better place, and soon I'll be telling you what we've planned. There's not been many opportunities in the past year to come together and acknowledge the excellent people and teams in our public sector, so I'm really pleased we're all here to celebrate these successes. Every year, the calibre of entries gets higher and higher. Sorting which nominations would be elevated to finalists and then winners was no easy task. The team of judges was myself, fellow judges Nick Reid, Chief Executive, Premier and Cabinet, Cathy Taylor, Chief Executive, Department for Child Protection, and Chief Executive David Reynolds of Treasury and Finance. Thank you to the judges for setting aside the time that we needed in our busy schedules to be part of this very important initiative. Judging was challenging, but it once again highlighted the extraordinary and critical contribution South Australian public sector makes to our communities each and every day. While I know many of you prefer to work quietly and diligently behind the scenes, you should be so proud of what you do and have achieved. So please enjoy being in the limelight this morning, because today is your day to celebrate. And hello to all those people that are watching us virtually as well. Let's get on with why we're here and on to the awards presentation. So, an important note for today's winners, as I said, finalists to stand at their tables when we call out your name. But for the winners, when your name is called, please immediately make your way to the stage to accept your award from the Premier and have your photo taken. Come to the left of the stage and exit via the same way. There are crosses marked on the stage. Please stand on those when receiving your award and having your photo taken. As I said before, take off the mask when you come along to have your award presented. So finally, a point about the actual beautiful handcrafted trophies. They're fragile and some are not attached. So please, we had an almost failed moment, but we didn't break it. So please be really careful. Very, very lovely awards, but we wouldn't want anything to happen to them. So on with it. Our first award is Excellence in Service Delivery. It recognises exemplary service that's had a far-reaching and positive impact to the community of South Australia. This year's individual finalists include Liana McCurry, Department for Education. Please stand, Liana, when we're talking about the great things that you've done. Liana is a teacher from Artonish Primary School who's using a multi-sensory approach to encourage and excite young children learning maths. Stay standing, Liana. The next finalist is Ruth Musker, also from the Department of Education. Ruth? Together. As Murray Bridge High School's principal, Ruth has overseen an impressive rise in literacy and numeracy across the school and has increased students' access to technology and tailored learning. You're a hero, Ruth. Very challenging. Katie Haynes, from the Department of the Premier and Cabinet. They're all together. Katie has helped build and launch an online triage form for the virtual care service run by the Women's and Children's Health Network. And now for the individual winner of Excellence in Service Delivery is Ruth Musker. Ruth, congratulations. Please make your way to the stage. We have a video. Now, we have a video of all our finalists, but we're showing the videos of the winners today.
I'm the principal of Murray Bridge High School. I am in charge of a school of just over 1,300 students. One of the things that I'm really passionate about is that every student is an individual and all have their own needs. Our students need every opportunity to demonstrate growth no matter what level they're at. The essential thing for me was recognising that teachers needed to be able to collaborate with each other to be able to get the kind of success that we've achieved. Not only creating the time, but creating the conditions where teachers can do that hard thinking together. If you don't have strong relationships with their students, they won't trust you to help them. I get so much out of the work I do at Murray Bridge. It is about my school, my town and my community. So this is about recognition of when we all work together, good things happen.
Congratulations, Ruth. Absolutely. Off you go, Ruth.
Thank you, Premier Marshall, and thank you to the Department for Education for acknowledging the exciting changes happening at Murray Bridge High School for the young people of the Murraylands. While keeping this as short as possible, it is important that I mention 3 different groups who are responsible for me being right here now. As always, my amazing family, who provide unwavering love, support, and on occasion reality checks when needed. I know I'm one of the blessed ones who knows that if ever needed, every single one of my family will drop what they're doing and come running. My mum is my biggest fan, and I really hope she's mastered how to get onto that online link today. Love you, Mum. To the staff and students of Murray Bridge High School, a leader is only as good as the team around them, and I have an incredible team. Every day I see teachers and support staff making a difference in the lives of students around them, despite some complex, challenging circumstances and the ever-present risk of COVID, which some days makes business as usual hard enough. We continually seek to find new ways to do things that might make that little bit of difference to keep an improvement cycle rolling. It's the combination of all of those little connections that together make a big difference. Without a doubt, the core focus on expert teaching and learning and the continuity of learning in literacy and numeracy is helping. We've worked hard to build a strong, collaborative and collegiate team, and even with many new staff and a new cohort of over 400 Year 7s and 8 students, taking our total population to nearly 1,300, we have a vibrant and focused learning environment in our brand new middle years building, which we absolutely adore. Thank you, Premier Marshall. And we can't wait to welcome back our 9s, 10s and 11s next week. Finally, I also want to acknowledge the larger Murraylands community. Our goal is a thriving community with a sustainable future. Having the school as a focal point within the community, improved access to wellbeing and support networks for kids and families, and developing pride in the town and region is starting to pay off. Development of entrepreneurial mindsets has seen the social and economic interactions beyond the classroom and the creation of authentic experiences that build the self-confidence in students to take on challenges in an unknown and unpredictable future. After years of planning with key stakeholders, the Murray River Study Hub is now providing tertiary options without young people having to leave home, which has been such a barrier for them, and also for the community losing its ability to foster young minds. It's not only a financial concern, it's about the fabric of our small communities that make up the Murraylands. Our on-site training centre provides vocational education leading to school-based apprenticeships and traineeships in identified industries, creating a direct pipeline for our skilled graduates to our local employers and beyond. No one thing is or can be the magic panacea to address disadvantage, but as the old saying goes, it very much does take a village to raise a child. Thank you.
So beautifully said. Thank you, Ruth, for everything that you do. I haven't seen anyone that has displayed the living the purpose. That was very strong. Thank you. Now to the finalists in Excellence in Service Delivery Group. The first finalist is the Single-Use Plastic Bans Initiative. Please stand. The team. There, everyone's. The team. Excellent initiative. The team from Green Industries SA has delivered world-leading policy that significantly reduces single-use plastic items being sold and distributed in South Australia. The next finalist is the Paringa Seasonal Worker Quarantine Facility. Please stand. The Department of Primary Industries and Regions, with SA Health and SA Police, implemented an innovative quarantine model that allowed Pacific Island workers to fulfil critical jobs in the state's agriculture industry during the COVID-19 border closure. To the Pop-Up Medics group. Are we there? SA Health and SA Police implemented a new pop-up medic service which provides elevated health care to detainees in cell blocks, reducing the need to present at emergency departments and freeing up vital health and police resources. And I believe this is the final finalist, the Child and Adolescent Virtual Urgent Care Service. Please stand. From the Women's and Children's Health Network. This service uses video consultations to give parents and carers of children access to rapid and targeted medical advice and support, easing the load on hospital emergency departments. So now to the winner. Well, this was the most difficult category for us to judge, and so I'm pleased to announce that we do have joint winners for this one. Of the Excellence in Service Delivery, and I'll be introducing them separately, and they'll come up individually or whoever's the representative to collect their prize from the Premier. So the first group, or the first winning group, is the Single-Use Plastic Bans Initiative. And will we play that video now?
We're the first in Australia to develop this sort of legislation to ban a certain range of single-use and other problematic plastic products here in South Australia. We're creating brand new legislation without too many examples. We couldn't pull something off the shelf and say this is what we want. We had to do our own research, our own investigations, and rely on some of the community feedback we got through some of the consultative processes that we undertook.
I think it's been really amazing to see that cultural shift in the community, being able to craft that legislation to reflect what was actually happening in the community, and that was really exciting to be a part of that process.
In the first 6 months, we estimate there's been about 120 million straws that haven't had to be used. I think it speaks volumes to this government, essentially to stick its neck out. On our coattails, other jurisdictions have jumped on board and now are developing very similar pieces of legislation to our own. And we've had a lot of, congratulatory messages from those other jurisdictions saying, thank goodness South Australia, jumped out of the blocks and started heading down this path because we've all wanted to do it.
Round of applause. Did anyone want to say anything? No? All right, that's fine. If you want to say something, you're very welcome to. So I wanted to hold people in suspense. The second winner in this category is the Child and Adolescent Virtual Urgent Care Services team from the Women's and Kids. Come up and collect your award.
The Women's and Children's Virtual Service is an ED avoidance strategy. Presentations to emergency departments throughout the state have increased disproportionate to population growth. We've essentially replicated the ED journey but virtually, so that people will log on via an online platform and they'll register as if they were in ED, and then they'll answer some streaming questions to make sure that the virtual service is right. It's really tough at this time, especially in COVID, for parents to be able to get into a GP. So to be able to see and have safe, high-quality care virtually is a real bonus, and it means that the people that need to be in the emergency department are referred to the emergency department. One thing we do within the service is work with the families. So what we'd like to do is provide safe, high-quality care where it suits the consumer. So if it's in their own community, the better that than coming to the Women's and Children's. So we're the first paediatric emergency department in Australia to do something like this, and we've managed to keep about 200 ambulances out of hospital in the last 2 months. It's a really lovely service to work in, and we're really proud of what we've achieved.
Well done. Would anyone like to say anything from the team? No? You will. Oh. Well done. Congratulations.
I'm not very light-footed, so I apologise for that. But Katie, thank you so much for all the help that you did creating that triage form. and want to thank the Women's and Children's Executive for being brave and innovative and trusting me to lead this project. But I know there's lots of people in the team that are watching from home or at work, and thank you so much. That's all.
They make us proud. Well done, team. Okay, next category is the Excellence in Service Delivery Emergency Response Individual and Group. This is the second year we've had this category, which recognises those who contributed to keeping South Australians safe during the past 12 months. The finalists of the Excellence in Service Delivery Emergency Response Individual are Stephen Boucher from the Country Fire Service. Stephen's here, stand up. As the COVID Task Force lead, Stephen made sure the CFS was able to continue its critical role protecting the community during the pandemic. Brenton Hasty, also from the CFS. Brenton developed and implemented a training module to address a shortage in key skills and capability among CFS volunteers. Nix Seacombe from the Department of Primary Industries and Regions. Nick's leadership of the team that fought to eradicate fruit fly and protect the state's valuable horticultural industry was described as phenomenal achievement in difficult circumstances. And the winner of the individual award is Nick Seacombe from the Department of Primary Industries and Regions. Congratulations, Nick.
Fruit fly in South Australia, we've been eradicating for 75 years, but this is by far the biggest we've ever faced before. 18 outbreaks spread across the state. It's been the toughest thing I've ever done. It's been really significant, and I've been involved in similar programs for 25 years now in government. We've got a lot of different outbreak teams working at different locations. We had 7 different control centres around the state, a whole lot of different producers who are trying to grow fruit in this environment, all with their own challenges, and trying to bring them all together. And in a COVID environment where people can't always meet face to face, it's been a real challenge for the incident controller. I've been trying to bring that team together and keep them cohesive. To be honest, as a leader of the team, trying to keep the morale up when those things happen has been a real challenge. When yourself, you're feeling a little bit challenged and you think, oh, I'm not sure if we're actually going to get through this. With the team, we get together and debrief electronically. I had to learn how to use YouTube for the first time so we could send out Friday weekly updates to the whole team and just think outside the square a little bit. It's not something you can just follow the normal formula and expect it to work. There's 480 people who've been working on this, and I guess I'm representing all of those. All the stuff that we've achieved has been achieved by those 480 people.
Nick, I just wanted to apologise. You keep putting brochures in my thing and they can't get in to see my fruit tree, so apologies.
Thanks, Emmy. And first of all, just very quickly, thanks, Premier, for today's event. I think it's such an important chance to acknowledge all the work the public sector does. Thanks, Mehdi Daroudi, for taking the time to nominate me and others in our department. Again, I think it's really important to acknowledge what we do. Just really quickly, I do, similar to other finalists, just want to acknowledge the fact that this is really a village effort. There's a group of over 500 people that have been working for 2 years. We started before the pandemic, actually, and have been going for 2 years, and quite a unique campaign to be able to keep up the effort and the morale and the work for that period of time, often away from home in difficult circumstances. So again, people at home who are watching, who have been involved, I thank you for your effort. This is really acknowledgement of what the team's been able to achieve. Thank you.
Excellent. Great work. Moving to the group award, now where there are a couple of multi-agency finalists. To maintain COVID safety, we request that only 2 invited representatives from the winning entry come up to the stage. It should also be noted that we have several finalists in this category, which is reflective of the strength of the sector's emergency response. So, I'm pleased to announce our finalists in Excellence in Service Delivery Emergency Response are the Business Support Grant Team. Can they stand up? From the Department of Treasury and Finance. Really important. This team has helped ease the economic hardship of COVID-19 by designing, creating and delivering state government support grants to struggling small businesses and issuing them in record time. Well done, team. South Australian Police COVID-19 border operations. Please stand, team. This rapid and large-scale response to monitor the state's border crossings involved hundreds of staff and continues to play a key role in South Australia's COVID-19 response. Thank you, Police Commissioner. Next, we have the COVID-19 SAPOL support program from the State Emergency Service. That team here, there they are. This team has covered and assisted various SA police operations during the pandemic, vital work which is still continuing. Our next finalist is the COVID-19 Vaccine Hesitancy Program. Please stand, team. Run through Wellbeing SA, this team significantly increased the uptake of COVID-19 vaccines within 5 community groups who were identified as being hesitant about the vaccine program and its effectiveness. We thank you, team. And our last finalist in this category, the Fruit Fly Emergency Response Program, Department of Primary Industries and Regions. Please stand. And as I said before, it was successful in tackling and eradicating 18 separate outbreaks of fruit fly across the state amid the pandemic, and I think that's probably one of the biggest that we've ever seen in Persa. What an impressive field. But it's time to announce the winner of this category, and I'm really pleased to say that the winner is the South Australian Police COVID-19 Border Operations. Congratulations, Commissioner Stevens, on your team's success.
Back in March 2020, when the major emergency declaration was made for COVID, there was a need to manage people travelling into South Australia, and that meant putting people onto the borders, checking people's credentials as they came across into SA. So in the space of about 24, 48 hours, we stood up significant checkpoints right across our state borders with New South Wales, Victoria and Western Australia. First challenge was finding people. We were looking for in the order of 350 to 600 people on a daily basis, over and above our normal policing duties. We very quickly got to an elimination stage with COVID in South Australia. Without having had police officers, SES workers and the Defence Force on our borders, we couldn't have provided that level of assurance that we were managing people coming into South Australia. I'm incredibly proud and humbled by the commitment of South Australian police officers. We've always considered ourselves to be an organisation that is able to adapt quickly to emerging issues, but I think COVID-19 has really tested us in that regard, and we've met that test. I don't think you can underestimate the impact of an award like this. It's a recognition of an exceptional effort in exceptional times.
Thank you, Irma. Thank you, Premier. Just very briefly, I just wanted to acknowledge, whilst this is an award that's been accepted by SAPOL, which is representative of the sworn and non-sworn members of the organisation and the effort they put in, I do need to acknowledge the State Emergency Service specifically, as well as the Australian Defence Force, who are standing side by us in most of our border checkpoint activities, as well as the hundreds of civilian contractors that we brought on board to help us in the airports and in our central assessment unit. And they were processing applications for people who were seeking to come into South Australia to make sure that they were doing so in a safe way. So genuinely a significant team effort, and I think the results that we achieved across all of our border activities is indicative of the level of commitment that we saw from everybody involved. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. So the next award category, which recognises the individuals and teams who uphold the values which define the South Australian public sector. I won't go through them, the Premier mentioned them so well, so thank you, Premier. This year's individual finalists in the South Australian Public Sector Values Award include Georgina Ori Cockatoo from the Department of Child Protection. Yay. Georgina works tirelessly to keep Aboriginal children and young people out of care through connection to family, community and culture. Well done, Georgina. Annette Grote from the Department for Child Protection. During an outstanding 30-year career, Annette has worked relentlessly to get improved support, better outcomes and positive change for Aboriginal children, young people and their families. Well done, Annette. Amy Selway from the Department for Child Protection, it's a mozza, who displayed exceptional service and commitment in strengthening ties with foster and kinship carers. And Richard Webster from the Department for Energy and Mining. Richard's here, yeah. For leading large-scale renewable energy and storage transformation projects. Congratulations to all our truly impressive finalists and especially to our winner, Annette Grote from the Department for Child Protection, a deserving recipient.
I've been working in child protection for 30 years. As the Aboriginal lead practitioner, it's having oversight of what's happening for Aboriginal children coming into care, ensure that their voices are heard, that Aboriginal families are participating in critical decisions about the safety and the well-being of Aboriginal children. The colleagues that I work with, we're all committed to making a difference. I see change happening. And to be part of that, I think, is really important. That's what drives me. So I find that challenging, but it's worthwhile doing because you do see an outcome. Well, I go about my business because I want to do it, not to get recognition, because I get that through families coming up and talking to me in the street and in my community. But I also see the other side of that is to be a leader, to let other Aboriginal staff know that your work you do is appreciated and it is making a difference for our children so they don't lose those connections.
We've heard from Annette anyway. Well said, Annette, thank you. On to the group category now. I'm pleased to announce our following finalists. The Community Connections Team, Department of Human Services. Can they stand up? This team overhauled a stale 35-year-old home care program so that vulnerable and socially isolated South Australians now have better services, outcomes and networks. Well done. The Specialist Services Team, Disability and Development Services from the Department for Child Protection. This team's role enhanced the services provided to children and young people in care. Well done. To the MFS COVID Task Force, which made sure the MFS was able to maintain its day-to-day operations and emergency response to the community despite the challenges posed by COVID-19 and the recent Omicron outbreak. Please join me in congratulating the winner of the Group Award, the Community Connections Team, Department of Human Services.
The Home and Community Care Program was a 35-year-old legacy program which supported people who had a low-level functional disability to remain in their homes and remain independent in their homes. The program was handed to our division to reform and develop a new program on that basis, which is Community Connections.
The ultimate goal for us was to ensure that these people were really cared for and we understood their needs. What we're doing is supporting our service providers to work really well together to understand the needs of a community in a particular region and respond together.
We have 12 regional coordinating partners across the state, coordinating all of the partners in the area to make sure they're talking, they're meeting weekly, they're talking about who are you supporting, I'm supporting that person as well, maybe we can link up so we don't have the same issue again of time and time again getting to a point in a program where we're seeing people receiving long-term supports without anyone ever having the conversation with them. What would you actually need to do this independently? What would you need to not be dependent on their service anymore? And let's get you there, let's set some goals and actually achieve that with you.
We've created a really effective system that will have a long-term impact on the wellbeing and the health of South Australians.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Premier. Thank you, everybody. We're really honoured to accept this award on behalf of everyone who worked on the reform of the Home and Community Care Program. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. It was an immense process and it was an enormous team effort, and I am going to name some people who were really critical in the success of these projects. Firstly, I'd like to thank the HAC Reform team who were there at the very beginning. So particular thanks to Anne-Marie Hayes, Fiona Curnow, Pat Marr, Catherine Kleinitz, Penny Baldock, Thomas Murphy, Dr Kylie Henniker and Professor Ian Goodwin-Smith. For the HAC transition team, we had about 20 people working on this at one stage. I won't mention them all, but particular acknowledgement to Rebecca Petrovich and her team, Rory Spreckley, Nick Ashley and the incredible Kath McLaren. Thank you to our new ED, Ruth Ambler, and Director Carolyn Locke, who continue to support our approach and respond with such insight and patience with our persistent questions and suggestions. Thank you to our CE, Lois Boswell, for creating an environment where innovation is possible. Thank you to the current Community Connection partners who are delivering this innovative program across South Australia, and also to the many agencies who provided HAC services to clients across the state for 35 years. It certainly is an end of an era. And lastly, my heartfelt thanks to the courageous, resilient and certainly values-driven group who make up the Community Connections team. Mia Zaccardo, Jane Rodigero, Michael Hill, Michelle Ingrams, Vanessa Marsh and Chris Abbott. You make it all possible. Thank you very much, everybody.
We're nearing the end of the hour, so before I invite Nick Reid, the Chief Executive of DPC, to the stage to tell you about the finalists in our last award for the day, or awards, I want to take a moment to talk about our sector's purpose. As many of you know, our two officers, along with all chief executives across the sector, have worked closely together on defining our purpose, and it's been a wonderful journey, making a difference so South Australia thrives, and championing it across the sector, including this video. So while we're playing the video, I'll get Nick to come up to do the awards, but I think it's really a special video for us to actually have a look at to introduce these awards that Nick will give. Thank you, Nick.
G'day everybody. Great to be here today to present or announce the first ever Premier's Excellence Award for Making a Difference. I would like to begin firstly though with the acknowledgement of country from DPC, which is Natamburi Naglu Ganamira Yatanga, Manencha Buru Burlina Naglicha, Manencha Nanku Yalaka Takaliana Tandali. I acknowledge we're on Ganamina land, that dreaming is still living within us from the past, today and into the future. forever. I'd like to acknowledge the Premier, and thanks for hosting these awards again to recognise our biggest asset, which is our people. Thanks to Irma and her team for all your work, and I'd like to acknowledge all the chief executives here today as well, or watching on the video. It's really exciting for me to deliver this presentation around the Making a Difference Awards. I'd like to congratulate all the finalists, and in particular the winners. It's really a fantastic achievement to be recognised for all your work that you do. Before I announce the winners, I wanted to quickly touch on our public sector purpose that Irma mentioned. It's one of the best parts of my job is to go around and mix with a lot of the teams in the public sector and just see all the great work that really does exemplify our purpose of making a difference so South Australia thrives. Whether you're sort of working in areas supporting vulnerable families, boosting our economy, conserving our environment, or keeping our community educated, safe, or healthy, in the public sector, every role contributes to making a difference for our state. This has been particularly necessary during the challenges that have come with the global pandemic, so thank you for all your continued efforts to support our communities during this time. The Making a Difference Award recognises people who live and breathe our public sector purpose. It recognises passion, commitment and actions by a team or individual that have made a positive difference to the lives of South Australians. Since joining the public sector, my focus has been on uniting everyone under this common purpose. The public sector purpose is not a marketing statement or a gimmick. We're all here to make a difference, and it was developed in consultation with people across the sector. And it's why I wanted to join the public sector, and I'm sure it's also why many of you did as well. Making a difference so South Australia thrives is the purpose that binds all agencies and public sector employees together. We're all going in the same direction, all with the same goal, working together as one team. With this significance in mind, I'm very pleased to move on to announcing our very first Premier's Excellence Awards for Making a Difference. So let's move to the individual category first. And the first finalist in the individual category is Jessica Ciccarello. Hey, Jessica. Jessica's from the Lifetime Support Authority and has been recognised for creating systems and processes that recognise and support the needs of LSA clients as they strive to re-engage with the community and gain independence. Great work, Jessica. Next up, we have Mark Connolly from the Department for Education. Mark's been recognised for his incredible dedication and determination, which has led to the establishment and successful operation of the APY Trade Training Centre. Well done, Mark. Congratulations on your public service medal too, I saw recently, so well done. And finally, our third finalist is Shalini McCarthy from the Department for Child Protection. And Shalini is being recognised for her outstanding leadership, sacrifice and service to vulnerable children and families on the Limestone Coast. Please show your appreciation for Shalini and her fellow finalists. And then I have the pleasure in announcing our inaugural winner in the Making a Difference Individual Award is Shalini McCarthy. So come on down, Shalini. And Shalini and I nearly had an accident last time I presented an award to Shalini, so I nearly had the award stabbed my toe. But it's a Premier, they are loose on top there, so just a little careful. So we don't want any workplace injuries, so careful.
I'm the manager of the Department for Child Protection in the Limestone Coast region. My role really is around working collaboratively with other agencies in the community. The main focuses of my role is to work with our partner agencies and work with people in the Limestone Coast area to bring them on board and work together to keep children safe. I have to think creatively in my role, I guess, to come up with solutions on every given day. So my office has 297 children under long-term guardianship, and we have another 43 under short-term orders that we're still working towards making assessments about whether they can go home or not. I'm a local Mount Gambier person, so I know quite a lot of the families. I might bump into kids years later, like I see some adults now who I was their social worker for. They're 30 now. They come and run up to me and bring in, their children when they've had children to say, I just want you to meet my baby, and there's no greater reward. We don't do this job for accolades or recognition. It's been a hard slog. It's been 23 years down in the Mount. It's been hard. I would be lying if I said it was all easy. So it's a nice recognition for the work that I've done. Firstly, thank you, Premier, for this award. I want to also thank my leaders, Kathy and Fiona, that are here today. I am a really proud DCP worker and I'm a really proud Mount Gambier local person, and so this award means a lot to me, not only for the work that I do within my department, but also for my community in the region. It's a tough job. I think someone made mention of that earlier today. I think that was you, Premier. It is a tough job, but it is the most rewarding and most humbling role that we play in my local community, and also all the officers around the state. So I am really overwhelmed by this, and I guess a few people I want to thank. I want to thank the Mount Gambier office. I'm only as good as the people around me, and I have a very, very strong, cohesive group of really passionate, resilient and flexible staff that work with me and are willing to do whatever it takes to keep children and families supported in our region. We also have really strong collaborative relationships with lots of partner agencies in the Limestone Coast, so whether they're government agencies like education and health, but also non-government partner agencies like AC Care and Life Without Barriers and AFS, who make my job so much easier in terms of supporting our community. Within our own department, I think, we are one small wheel in this big machine, and there are lots of different parts of Department for Child Protection that support us, places like contracts and licensing and placement services, and my own southern region, who make my job so much easier in terms of providing me with that support, and also providing me with that support so that I can best support my staff and the people in my region. And I also just lastly want to thank my family, so my husband and my 3 beautiful kids who really lend me to be able to support my community. It is a tough job and it's a long, we work a lot, and without their support and understanding for what that means to me and allowing me to do that, I wouldn't be able to do it. So thank you.
Congratulations, Shalini. Now we'll move on, and it's my pleasure to announce the finalists for the Making a Difference Group Award. The first finalist is the Interpreting and Translating Centre from the Department of Human Services. This team is being recognised for their passion, dedication and professionalism. They played a vital role in helping people feel safe and secure after they had fled Afghanistan following the Taliban's return to power. Next up, we have the Putiong Ganayurta team from Department of Human Services as well. And this is a courageous initiative that successfully tackled the issue of remote Aboriginal visitors sleeping rough and associated antisocial behaviour. So well done, team. The next one is the COVID-19 QR code contact tracing, analytics and technical support team. So within just 3 weeks, the Office for Data Analytics team developed and delivered the QR code system that's been integral to the state's management of COVID-19 and invaluable in keeping us safe. This team have also been instrumental in providing ongoing support for the QR code system, often working 24/7 over the past 2 years, so well done. And finally, we have the Department of Primary Industries and Regions Marine Scalefish Fishery Reform Team. This team's been recognised for delivering a complex and at times contentious overhaul of fisheries for several popular but vulnerable species that has resulted in long-term sustainability, so well done. And the winner I'm pleased to announce, is the COVID-19 QR code contact tracing team.
In the midst of the pandemic, we had a challenge to work out where people were going and identify exposure sites for contact tracing. So in really 3 weeks, pulled together a solution to enable the public to check in to different venues, and for us in the back end to be able to trace where they'd been. We could respond quickly to positive COVID cases, and we could provide that data back to SA Health within minutes. These challenges are really fun and exciting when they come up, but you need the experience behind you to be able to implement them quickly, and that means you've got to consider functionality, make sure that it's robust, make sure that it's secure, and that it's sustainable, and we really delivered on that. I'm very heartened that we were nominated for this award because it really highlights what a great team we have and how capable they are, and that despite the fact that they're in the back room, in the dark, doing this work all hours of the day and night, that they're being recognised.
It's very clumpy on the stage, isn't it? Thank you, Emma, Nick and Premier. Look, I'm just the face here today. It's a privilege to work with an amazing team, both in my area, Eva's area and James's area in DPC, to build the solution, and all our colleagues in DIPTI and SA Health, particularly CDCB, that worked tirelessly to use all this information. This was really a big collaborative effort, and I'd really like to thank my team for really always saying yes. They've moved from a sort of business hours team to 24/7. No one's ever said no, and they pulled together massive amounts of data and solutions in days, hours and weeks. So well done to the team, well done to all of our colleagues across government, and thank you very much.
Well done, team. Okay, we've come to the end, and I apologise, we're just slightly over, but it's been a wonderful morning. Can you please give a rousing applause for all of the finalists and winners today? Loud. You should all be incredibly proud of the achievements that we've showcased today, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We will be sharing all the videos that we took of all the finalists on our social media. Look out for that. We'll send out an email to all public servants as well. We really need to showcase what's great about the South Australian public sector. Those of you that would like to take a photo, we'll set up the banners down here. I don't know, the Premier might have another thing to go to, so hopefully he can stay for some. If not, I wish you all a great day and keep up the fantastic work. Thank you, everyone.